owing to their direct bond and connection with the end customers. To gain some more insights on the same topic, we have our second panel discussion, Fame and Famous, a tryst between celebs and D2C brands. I would like all of you to join me in welcoming our moderator for this session. Well, while Mr. Bagla makes his way towards the stage, I would like to call on the panelist, Mr. Varun Kapur, founder Foodlabs, to kindly join us on the stage, requesting all of you to decide to give you a fabulous session. Let's call it that. Let's have a proper welcome and a round of applause for the panel on the stage.
Hi, my name is Sarvesh Bagla. I am the founder and CEO of Techmagnate. We're a digital marketing agency, award-winning, working with some of the top brands, large team, but we're very, very strong on the performance marketing side, especially SEO. And we even have a dedicated team for e-commerce SEO that might be relevant for the audience today. So I come from an SEO performance marketing background. But I'm moderating this session today on, fame and famous, tryst between celebs and D2C brands. So I know very little about brand endorsements, but I think all of these folks here do. So we're going to be quizzing them and getting you guys some gyan, right? So guys, if you can introduce yourselves, and then I'll start firing questions at you.
Thank you. I'm Bharat. Varun and I are the co-founders of U Foods. U is a consumer packaged foods brand that we launched in October 2021 with the idea of making packaged food as close as possible to freshly prepared food using only natural ingredients and making it chef crafted. So that was the endeavor. The USP of the brand and what we do is even though we operate at price points that are very affordable, catering to a mass market, we try and ensure that everything that we provide to consumers is obviously as tasty as possible, but more than that, it's prepared using only natural ingredients. There's absolutely no artificial substances in the products that we provide to consumers. So we do a wide variety of products, so I'll let Varun talk about that. If you want to just...
Hi, this is Varun, founder U Foods. Our product range, Bharat has already kind of told you the attributes of the product. So we do noodles, we do pastas, we do breakfast items like oatmeal, upmas, we do halwas. So we're the only brand which I think has a very large offering and all ready in simply 5 minutes by adding boiling water. We're an omni-channel brand. We sell offline, online, airline, exports. So we're in about 6,000 retail outlets in India. We're on all e-commerce, Q-commerce. We sell our products on 2 airlines, and we export our products to 3 markets. And we've been operational for roughly about 2 years.
Hi, very good morning. My name is Jash, and I'm one of the founders at GetAWay. We are a healthy dessert company. We started our journey back in 2019 by introducing healthier options in ice creams. And now we've taken it up a notch by adding some cheesecakes and some other desserts to our categories. And I have Pashmi also with me. She'll talk a bit more about the brand.
Hi guys, thank you Sarvesh for introducing us. And we're GetAWay. We're basically, as Josh rightly said, a healthy dessert brand. What we started out doing 4 years back is try to convert a traditional dessert in something that can be healthy. And we thought, which is the most loved dessert, in India, and it's actually ice cream. And who would have thought that ice cream can be healthy, right? That's when we decided to make it with no added sugar. We added whey protein to it, and that was an innovative product, that the market was sort of waiting for. And both of us, in fact, approached our mother, who created this recipe for us. And that's when we decided to take it to scale and launch it in the market. It's been a fantastic journey since then, and we've been able to deliver across 40+ cities. We sell through Zomato, Swiggy, quick commerce, our own website, as well as modern trade stores. And a little bit more about our brand ambassador coming soon.
Hi, this is Anant. I founded the Indian Garage company. We're into fashion apparels. We are a house of brand format. Started with the e-commerce journey way back in 2011. Today, we operate with Indian Garage on the menswear side, present on all major e-commerce platforms. We are a digital-first company. We have just launched our women's wear label, which is Freehand. We are also coming up with a plus-size label, which is Hard Soda. Currently, one of the lead sellers on marketplaces. We ship about 15 to 20,000. We ship to about 15 to 20,000 consumers a day, and we've got Surya Kumar as the face of our brand. We just recently signed him.
Hi, my name is Anshita. I'm the founder of Fix My Curls. We're a curly and wavy hair care brand, so we help people embrace their naturally textured hair. So for naturally curly and wavy hair.
So guys, then I'll start shooting questions now. So if actually I'll start from here. If you guys can sort of tell us who your brand ambassador is, and why you signed them on, and how important they are to your brand.
Sure. You see, we operate, like I said before, in the packaged food segment. And the packaged food segment is a segment that is actually very infamous for a few things, and the number one being the quality of ingredients that go into packaged food. There is a certain amount of trust deficit that exists with the consumer, where when we launched our products, right, and we use a very innovative technology that is in fact used by NASA when they send their astronauts into space, and we've invested heavily into the technology that we've set up, and we have our own manufacturing facility in Gurgaon itself. When we launched with all these positive attributes about our product, the first thing that consumers said, oh, you're saying this is zero preservatives, but you actually mean it, right? Does it actually have zero preservatives? Because everybody says zero preservatives in one shape or form. But there's always kind of, I would say, the customer has been misled in this particular industry, and we've seen this in a lot of these kind of footages, and a lot of the videos have started appearing now where a lot of people are calling out brands for this, but there is a certain amount of trust deficit that exists, right? So for a brand like ours that is relatively new, we're trying to make a mark, we're a challenger brand. For us, we wanted to go with somebody who is a challenger himself, right? So for us, Hardik Pandya, who came on board as a brand ambassador early part of this year, really symbolizes in a lot of ways the kind of challenger approach that we have, obviously catering towards a very large market segment, and somebody has a youth appeal and a lot of mass appeal, and really talking to the youth of this country. For us, our primary target group sits in the 15 to 35 age group, and I think somebody like a Hardik has tremendous amount of appeal when he's talking to the youth. And more than anything else, it's actually advocacy which is the most important, right? Because a sports person endorsing a brand, saying that it's actually zero preservatives, I think that means a lot. So for us, a lot of that stemmed from the fitment and the idea of having somebody who can really advocate this and tell consumers that there now exists an option that didn't exist for the last, say, 20, 30 odd years, and you can choose a better for you alternative in this particular segment.
Just a couple of things to add. Some work that we did before we signed up with Hardik is, I think there was a lot of discussion about where we think our brand fits in terms of the segment of population. And I think we were very clear that this is eventually we want to make a mass market brand, and then it kind of was to correlate who can appeal to that particular mass that you want to cater to. So I think that definition is very important, and we spent a lot of time doing that, because that wrong fitment could actually end up, you spending a lot of money but not getting the right return on that money. So we were very clear that we are playing a certain segment of the population that it buys affordable products, value for money products, and that's why the segment that we were catering to was larger, and we needed someone who could resonate to that particular segment. For example, our products start at rupees 45. Despite having zero preservatives, 100% natural, etc., we are catering to a very wide segment of the population. So in that sense, the work went into who would fit that better? And Hardik, of course, fits that bill because he appeals to the masses, and within that masses, ours is more younger, maybe more 15 to 35 age group, and that correlates well. The second that we spent a lot of time was that where do we directionally see a celebrity when we evaluate a celebrity in terms of where are they in their age and stage, in their career, what do we think the next 3, 4, 5 years holds for that celebrity. I think that also equally important. It's very difficult to kind of predict that with certainty, but some estimation on that, some discussions with the relevant audiences who understand better that particular piece, I think that's important. Third is if you're in a crowded category like we are, noodles, pastas, I mean just, you go to a retail store and you'll see tons of products out there. So you need to find ways to stand out. Just simply being zero preservatives or 100% natural, as Bharat said, in some form and shape, everyone writes something. So how do you really stand out? I think that in a mass market product where you are on a cluttered shelf, even on online shelf in this segment is very cluttered. Extremely important to stand out, and I think that is one area which we as a house personally feel that the celebrity endorsement really adds value, because here is a celebrity that not only they can relate to, the trust element comes and you stand out on a shelf, because in the massier segments you don't see too much of celebrity endorsements. You see that in a little bit more premium value added segments. So in a massy segment, to have that celebrity endorsement on a package speaking to the consumer, I think that creates long-term return.
So I would say the celebrity that's going to endorse your brand legitimately needs to deliver the messaging, and that person needs to embody the brand values. So for us, it was a natural fitment, and we got Malaika Arora on board. And in fact, when we approached her as a brand ambassador, she said, no, I don't want to be a brand ambassador. I want to be an investor in your brand, because I truly believe in following a lifestyle, following a healthy diet, and also indulging in food while not having to compromise on taste. And we thought that, this is the perfect marriage that could have been created for us. More so, I feel for D2C brands, it's important to have the person and the brand share the core values. Because the moment your core values are put up, like for us, it's about obviously leading a healthy lifestyle. It is also about the fact that we know that, our consumers are like normal people like you and me who want to strive towards a little healthy lifestyle. And that's harder to get in a mass segment, which is when we feel the credibility comes in when you get a celebrity on board sooner than later. So definitely it helps you cut through the clutter as well.
Can we, I'd like to ask Anshita first, maybe, because Anant, only because I know who your celeb is. So she's a slightly different category. So maybe we can hear her opinion first, and then we'll come back to you.
Okay, so our brand ambassador, we had to pick someone that actually, obviously, again, embodies the brand. So we needed someone with naturally curly hair, but there's a lot of actresses and actors out there that have naturally curly hair, but they straighten them or they cut their hair too short, so you can't see it. We actually found Palak Muchal. She's a Bollywood singer. She's done a lot of soundtracks that you've heard. You'll know her voice. You may not know her face. But we wanted her for her hair. So she keeps her hair naturally curly. That was the most important part for us. And doesn't matter whether she's at home or on the red carpet or she's recording in the studio, her hair is always curly. So that means something to us, and it really fits the ethos of our brand. I mean, we want you to keep your hair as it is. We don't want you to change it depending on where you are, who you're meeting. So we want everyone to accept you the way you are, and I think Palak is a very good example of being exactly who you are.
Anant.
So we've signed Surya Kumar Yadav. Those of you who don't follow cricket, he's an Indian cricketer. We wanted somebody, who has his own style, who's very unconventional, right? Because the fashion that we were making is also very, very unconventional. So it was very important for us to get somebody who resonates with the brand and the imagery of the brand, right? We're a D2C company. That means, there is no filtration. You want to give the consumers the fashion which is unfiltered. What we were thinking of, giving to our consumers was very, very differentiated fashion, very fast fashion, everyday fashion. Also, the problem was we were phenomenal value. So the trust factor was something that was, how can somebody provide a product at this price? Like, this has to be either a fake or it's not a genuine product. A lot of our comments read, oh, it's a 100% genuine Indian garage product. So what I realized was getting a face to the brand will give that confidence to the consumer, one. Also, why Surya Kumar? Because, he resonates very strongly with the ethos of the brand, which is very unconventional. He's known as a 360-degree player and a very unconventional cricketer. So at the time we signed him, also there was not a lot of clutter around him. He was a very clean, basic, simple guy, visible and, followed well. So I think that was one of the reasons why we took Surya Kumar. And
Okay. And, now that you've spoken about the celebs that you've, hired as your brand ambassadors, would you encourage the other D2C founders to take a similar route? I mean, I want to understand, has it proven effective for you and your brands?
so I think it's very, very effective, right? It's very efficient, very effective. I think everybody is consuming the same amount of information today via all the social media channels, right? So if you have to hit the consumer, you have to keep running in consumer's mind from every, you have to move every lever possible. With all of these guys, they are in news for some of the other reason, and people follow them. Some of the people preach them. So that definitely helps, I think. But it depends on brand to brand and, when you want to sign them, when you want to get them on board. For us, it was more about getting volumes first so that, we are visible to the consumer and then getting somebody on board to solve the brandification journey. For a luxury brand, it might be important to get somebody as a face of the brand on day one. So what is important is to understand when and who to get. It definitely helps, yes, but when and who.
Okay. Anybody else would like to share their opinion or their experience?
Yeah, I think I'd like to add to what Anant said. As D2C brands, obviously you do not have the sort of media budgets that, a big or a pure play FMCG brand would have. Now they have that leverage. For us to get a celebrity on board earlier just sort of helps break that clutter, as well as, you're in it for the longer journey, because consumers then start believing in your brand sooner than what it would take for like a bigger FMCG brand, because they're going to pump in all the money and they're going to get, customers acquired, obviously, but then what are you doing against that? So I think it's important to see the sort of fitment in terms of the celebrity, as well as what are you looking to get out of the whole celebrity endorsement.
I think it's, there's no one size that fits all. If you really think about it, there are D2C brands that have scaled up fairly well in the last 5 years without having any celebrity endorsement, right? The founders are the face of that particular brand. They are standing for what they are saying, what they are doing. And we've seen that story kind of beautifully play out for some people over the last 5 years. And then you have brands that started off with celebrity endorsement. So they are celebrity-led brands. So that's a different approach that people are taking. And then there are brands like ours, where we, wanted to have a good product market fit. We wanted to understand what the consumer really wants. We scaled up to a decent size, and then we said, now we think is the right time for us to push the pedal on the accelerator, because we've got our right products. We know our customer, we know the target group. And it's now that we want to get somebody for advocacy and for other things that I spoke about. So I think it's a lot about the segment that you operate in, the industry that you operate in, what is the legacy that you're fighting, what are you up against. So there are a lot of factors that one needs to consider as far as getting a celebrity on board is concerned. But like I said, it works very well for some. It may not work that well for some of the other brands. So it really depends on a lot of factors and the industry dynamics per se.
I think Anshita, you were sharing that maybe if you had to, do this over again, maybe your choices would be slightly different.
I think I would have done it later, just because it seems very exciting. Somebody tells you, you can work with a celebrity. It sounds very glamorous, but there's a lot of work that goes into it, Firstly, you only get one day to shoot with them. After all, they are a celebrity. They have a lot of other things to do, and they will be endorsing other brands as well. So you have to make the most out of their face in the time that you have with them, because they won't be your brand ambassador forever. If you don't know, you get a contract, you get them for a certain period of time. It could be a long-term relationship or a short-term relationship. So you have to make do with what you have. I think for us, it was definitely the wrong time, right person, but wrong time. Perhaps if we had waited until we were bigger and it wasn't such a big financial burden for us, because truth be told, celebrity ambassadors are not cheap, right? They're a celebrity after all. You're doing it for their face. They have a certain credibility attached to them, which is all great, but I think you should do it at a point where it's very comfortable for you to take that leap, and that even if it doesn't work out, you're still okay. So I think that's something that I would change probably if I did it again.
Sure. I think for the other founders here, I think you've had a very, very good experience. You're very happy with the fact, with the celebrity that you've sort of onboarded to endorse. But, again, coming back to, me being a performance marketer, I'd like to ask you guys, my sense is that, you bring someone on board, you do a bit of PR, of course, it's going to give you an initial surge in your sales and marketing and whatnot. But is it sustainable? Does it really drive performance? Are you really able to measure the impact of, what the celebrity has added?
I feel like there's a lot of top of the funnel engagement that you'll get. And to explain what that means is, a customer comes to the top of your funnel when they're introduced to your brand, for example. So they'll get to know about your brand, and at this point they enter your marketing funnel. When they purchase the product, they're kind of at the bottom of the funnel at this point, and you need to retarget them. When you get a celebrity, there's going to be a lot of people that see your brand but aren't necessarily interested, but they're looking at you because you have a face attached to your brand.
Sure.
So they may not buy the brand, but I do feel like it's great for visibility after all. You may not be able to measure it exactly, like, the ROI is great. It might just be that you get a lot of visibility, and then the next person you meet says, hey, I saw that you have, for example, Hardik on your packets, great. Or I saw him the other day on your product or in your ad. So I think that probably is the part that helps.
All right, great. Would any of you want to add to that or share your experience?
So we sorted scale first, right? So what is important here is, though you can't attribute, exactly what is coming in, but what is the problem that you're solving with getting the face to the brand, right? So we wanted to solve the confidence portion. We wanted to solve the recall value, right? Today, and even that cannot be measured accurately, but I certainly feel that it, in the longer run, like to add to what she said, right? You sign somebody, you need to invest equal or more amount of money to amplify it. I think that is very, very important. What happens is, we get a face to the brand, but we don't invest equally to amplify. And that's where, I think it fails for,
that's very interesting,
for a lot of,
yeah.
Yeah. So, two things, right? You need to get them and understand that you need to keep amplifying, and then you will see results. Also that once, what is a problem that you were actually looking to solve with the face of the brand? It's not necessarily that you want a spike in sales, or you sign somebody and you will see some phenomenal results, the sales have doubled, tripled and all of that. It doesn't happen so soon. It's a journey, right? It's a journey that you'll have to go through, keep spending, keep amplifying. So I think, that's more important, right? Than the real ROI cannot be measured that way.
Thank you. I think we're out of time, is that right? Okay, I have a lot more questions to ask, so maybe we'll just take that up at the speakers lounge. And would you guys be around in case the audience has more questions?
Yeah, sure.
So then maybe if you have more questions, then we can take them offline. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And thank you once again for being on time here. I'll request all of you to take a picture with us together. And of course, for your valuable time, we'd like to felicitate you with the hands of Mr. Gunjan Nagpal, Vice President and Head of Sales, Fashion Entrepreneur Fund. I'll request all of you to stay back on the stage for 1 minute. No, we have time for that, don't we? 1 minute. Mr. Nagpal, if I can request you to kindly join us on the stage. We've got some goodies to give away. Fabulous. Thank you. Thank you.